You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn connects you with experts from all over the world to help you take charge of your career, your business, and your life. Rap along with us. Visit drjacalyn.com to learn how to become a guest or a sponsor. And now, the doctor is in.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Business Talk Radio. You are watching or listening to A Better You. Lessons from the best coaches, consultants, and trusted advisors. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and I am celebrating today because this is our 100th episode since February of this year. I couldn't have done it without a number of people, and I must thank them all, starting with Mr. Al Cini. Al and I came together. It's amazing. It's another story for another day, but developed this platform of A Better You. And the whole mission was to bring people from around the world together to present key learnings and expertise that they had to the world. So I want to thank our team, and in no specific order: Jean Daly, Ihaku Nweke, Megan Sandwick, Mildred Muhammad, Diane Floyd-Bame, Red O'Laughlin, Marty DeFonts, Mariska, yes, Mariska Backstage du Preez, Hyatt Ives, Mike Boisenalt, Stephen Gillen, Daphne DeLucci, Regina Longo, Philip Sykes, Emma Ports, Teuta Avduli, Cindy Wilcox, Dylan Levitt, Sean McBride, Mike Harder, Ralph Graves Jr., Caroline Backstage Heward, Elaine Sugar, Kevin Gurgle, and Dr. Saf Buxey. What a ride it has been. Talk about getting people from around the world together on this platform, organized, professional, determined, and they all have one thing in common. Can you guess? They want to help other people. Yes, so we are celebrating. Whatever way you're celebrating, I'm on the 75 hard diet, so I'm celebrating all day, every day, all night with water, sadly. And I only have 70 days to go. All right, enough about that. Let's bring our presenters on for today to celebrate 100 from the very beginning. She's been here. Mariska du Preez, woo! And joining us, Caroline Heward. Hello, Caroline. Woo! I don't know. I am pumped up. How about you, ladies?
I'm extremely excited.
It's such an honor. 100 shows. I feel like I've been on all the landmark ones. So we did show 66 and we had Route 66 playing, right? So that was so cool. I was on the very first one, and now I'm on number 100.
It's amazing. And for our audience who doesn't know, Mariska and I met through a coaching certification program, and Mariska actually became my coach, and she's the one who helped me come up with a 9-month plan to leave my corporate job, which I did March 6th of last year. And it's been a fun ride ever since. So thank you so much for doing that. Caroline, it is a pleasure to have you here on this spectacular show. I know you've got a great lesson planned for us today. So what I'd like to do is just give the audience an overview of what to expect. So this is not a show for interviews. No, there will not be any interviews here today. These two dynamic duo here, they are going to present a lesson for 15 minutes or so to help us be better personally and or professionally. Mariska is going to go first, only because she's been here many times before. And Caroline and I will go backstage. We will be watching and learning. We'll come back. We'll interact with Mariska and let her know what we've learned from her lesson. We'll take a quick commercial break, and then Caroline will present, and Mariska and I will be backstage, and we'll come out and chat with you. How does that sound?
Brilliant.
Yes.
Brilliant.
I love it. All right, Mariska, we are going to head backstage. We wish you well, Lady in Red. we can't wait to hear what you're presenting today. So before we do that, I do want to highlight you. I forgot to do this, Charlie. Mariska, tell us a little bit about your background. I'm so excited. A little bit about your background and the types of people that you work with in your coaching career.
Okay, so I'm Mariska du Preez, for those of you that is joining the show now, and for those of you that already know me a little bit, you would know that I am a transition and career coach, and I work with specialists moving into leadership roles, as well as with leaders wanting to enhance their, leadership and their teams. So if you are one of those or know of anybody that is in one of those categories, send them my way.
Send them your way. I think that's a song. All right. Beautiful. Thank you. All right, Caroline, I'm going to spotlight you. Can you share a little bit about you and the work that you do and the type of people that you work with?
I can, yes. Hello, I'm Caroline Heward. I'm the Harley Street stress expert. I've been working in stress management since 2000, so that's 21 years. I'm an ex-corporate girl, very successful, high-flying, but seriously stressed. And when I lost my father in 2000, I didn't cope. When I realised I was in a depression, I then started looking for answers, and that's how I started my journey. The kind of clients that I work with are the kind of people that I used to be. So extremely stressed out corporate people and people with high-flying careers, doing really successfully well in their business, their careers, but actually not doing so well in their family and their personal lives. And there's a lot of seriously stressed out people right now.
So true. So true. And they need you, Caroline. So thank you for doing what you do. All right, Mariska, are you ready?
I am ready. I do notice that my internet's coming in and out, so just apologies if you guys lose me. I'll be right back.
She'll be back. No worries. All right, here's your deck, and we're going to go backstage. Would you like the timer or you don't need it?
Timer would be helpful. Thank you.
Okay, have a great lesson. I'll get it.
Okay. So today we are looking at our mindset and cultivating a consistent practice. So we've been going through our mindset for a couple of weeks now, and we're getting more into the doing parts, although within our other lessons we also had some doing parts. And this picture that we have at the front today, I thought was really appropriate. So normally I try to get something that is in line with what we're talking about, and I thought this one is really appropriate when we think about consistent practice. So thinking about a river, they have a tendency to every day and night follow the same route, and over time it actually forms a deeper and deeper river. So I thought that would be a fun way for us to start today. So what we're going to look through in our lesson today is we will be looking at linking behaviors, at action reflection, so creating a little bit more of awareness, and then some motivational tools. So linking behaviors, of course, our behaviors are very evident in our habits. So when we want to change something, whatever this might be, a good place for us to start is looking at some of our habits. Now, habits has good, bad, and the ugly, because we don't always stick to it. So the good is maybe a new habit that you want to cultivate. So it might be something, for instance, you want to start an exercise habit, possibly, or you want to maybe look at your nourishment, eating a little bit more healthy, or it might be something within your business or within your space in your career that you want to change out a little bit and do something a bit different or more positive, change it a little bit up. So the way that we do this is by linking a behavior. So if we think about maybe our exercise. So we already have the behavior of getting up in the morning. I'm sure we do, because most of us will, well, sleep and then get out of bed. So you already have the behavior of getting out of bed, and then you do something. Now, this might be getting dressed, it might be going for a shower, it might be going to brush your teeth, whatever it is that you do just after getting out of bed. So if you link your exercise behavior with your getting out of bed, this might now look like you get out of bed and you put your shoes on to go and exercise and actually get your exercise gear on instead of just jumping into your work clothing. So you get your exercise gear on, and then you first go for your run or your walk or whatever exercise it is that you want to be doing. This can be indoor exercise or outdoor exercise. Maybe you want to do yoga, go for a walk in nice fresh air if you are permitted to do so. And then you go on to the next behavior that would follow that. Now, when we link our behaviors, one of the things to also take note of, because this is part of the ugly, right, keeping it going, is to only try small changes. Especially initially, it is all about having that consistency first before increasing it too much. With research, what was found is that if we jump into it and we go for a full hard out 45-minute exercise that has you dripping sweat, the very first time you decide to start up an exercise regime, the likelihood of you actually sticking with that over a very long duration, such as a couple of years, is very unlikely. We might keep it up for a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, but most of us will then slack off and stop doing it. We also want to see that we can actually incorporate this new behavior and make space within our life for that. So this doesn't necessarily need to be something that is very time-consuming. Start small. So start with 5 minutes, or start with whatever time allocation you can create within your day. And really just the initial thing is just to start and have that consistent practice. So starting with 5 minutes a day doesn't sound like it's going to change a lot, but 5 minutes a day over a year actually adds up quite a bit. And as you get used to your new routine and it becomes a behavior in your life, you will see that you can increase your time period and you can increase your intensity of whatever the activity is that you're doing, and it will become a lot easier to do. Now, this also goes for replacing unwanted behaviors. So what we want to focus on is what we want to do, not what we don't want to do. So thinking about something such as, I want to stop eating junk food. So if we're going to focus on stop eating junk food, what we're actually focusing on is the junk food. So rather, instead of doing that, think about what is it that you want to start doing. And then starting something else would be, I want to incorporate more fruit in my diet. And then see how you can eat more fruit during the day. And that's a different way of doing it. So we're changing the habit that we want to get rid of with something that we actually want to incorporate. So that is our linking behaviors. Then next is, of course, some action and reflection. So what end do we have in mind? What is it that we actually want to accomplish? This is very important because if we don't know what it is that we want to accomplish, it's quite tricky to accomplish it. So what's the end that we have in mind? Then what is it from where we at the moment to where we want to be? What steps is it that we need to take to actually get us there? So there might just be one step, or there might be a couple of steps. And then doing our experiments. So I love experimenting. It makes it fun. It makes it easier. And I mean, experimenting, if you think about it, experiment, sometimes they go well and sometimes they fail, and that's fine because it's an experiment. So we start experimenting and we see what works for us, what doesn't work for us, and how we can incorporate more of what works, and how we can maybe see how to tweak the things that doesn't quite work. And this is part of the evaluation, of course. So we evaluate what happened, and then we reflect on that, how that is helping us to get to the end that we have in mind. Are we still on track? And then, of course, we go back to the action part, which is the experimentation. So having that cycle constantly is also a consistent practice. So don't worry about doing this whole big analysis. Just do something very, very small, something that might take you a couple of minutes, and that's it. It is all about just getting into that rhythm first of doing this, and then the more often we do it. So it is really about the quantity of times that we can do it, maybe throughout the day or throughout the week. And in smaller portions will help us be more consistent with it. Then the next one is our motivational tools. So when we think about motivational tools, there we can look at accountability. So with accountability, I'm sure you guys have experienced this before, as I have. If I tell my friend that I want to lose weight, or that I want to read a specific book, or whatever it is that I want to be doing, next time I speak to my friend, I actually want to show that I did something towards this goal that we spoke about. So enlisting friends and family is really great for motivation. You can also utilize social media. So posting it on your social media page. This is something that I want to be doing. Dr. Jacalyn is great with this. So she is at the moment doing the 75 hard, and she has it not only friends and family to support her with it, but she has all of us because she also used her social media for it. And then, of course, for those of us that have coaches, you can also utilize your coaching relationship as an accountability. So seeing different areas in your life where you can utilize accountability, and then using that as a form of motivation. Then also we have a why, right? So we know about Simon Sinek's why process, just going through the why and finding out really what it is within us that is a driving force. That's very useful. Another way that you can think about it is, what are you fighting for or fighting against? What is this thing that you want to change? Not necessarily just in your life, but maybe for your community or for the world at large. What is this thing that you're really, really passionate about? Or otherwise, an alternative is, what do you want to create? Something that you feel passionate about, that you want to make and bring to the world. This might also be part of a why. And then the other way of thinking about your why is ways of linking that into your value system and your passion system. So why is this thing that you want to do important to you? Really digging into it a little bit deeper and seeing how it's connected to your inner self and what you want to be in the world and in life. And this, of course, brings us to our values. Our values are really great motivational tools. And sometimes when we don't want to do a thing, there is a reason for it, and our values can actually show up in that. So with your values, you can think about what your values actually is, if you know or don't know. You can think about how you are living them and who are you being within that space. And then, of course, last, we love to exit our training with some questions that we can ponder about. So the questions thinking about being consistent in our mindset for this specific lesson is, where do I want to place my focus? Firstly, seeing that one area where I want to be actually incorporating the change. What is the steps that I need to take to get me from where I am now to where I want to be? And then how am I showing up in this process, or who am I being in this process? And then being consistent and taking those changes. So there's a few tools for you guys, and I do hope that you enjoy sort of experimenting with them.
Excellent. Excellent. How did it feel presenting on the 100th show?
Oh, I don't know. The nerves are still a little bit there. I did reframe them. The excitement is still there. I still have those butterflies. I still have the, ooh, okay, I need to remember to put this thing in there. So yeah, they're still coming up after 100 shows. Not that I've done 100 myself, but yes, they're still there.
You've done a lot. You've done a lot. Great job. I'm going to go to Caroline first, as she's here with us on our. This is your first presentation, right, Caroline?
It is, yes. And
yes.
If you're nervous, I'm really nervous.
Well, how about just starting off giving some takeaways to Mariska?
One of the things that you've demonstrated is that, you know, when I've started to do things, that I very rarely always do things in the time that I've said I'm going to do them, or I put it off because I'm not ready and I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So one of the things that you highlighted was accountability and finding someone that, you know, sort of someone close to you, which I kind of, one of the things that I've done in the past when I have got somebody that I'm accounting to, I kind of avoid them. So, yeah, you know, I sort of, there's a message that comes through as a phone call, and I kind of go, oh no, they're checking up on me, and all that dread and all that fear. But, you know, having somebody close to you, like a member of family, I think it's a cool idea, because I speak to my mum every day. So that was a huge takeaway for me, because when you have got somebody that you don't know so well, and perhaps it's a coach that, you know, sort of dips in and out, I do have that kind of resistance. So that was really, really helpful, because that is something that I suffer with myself.
Yeah, that's great feedback. I have a question for both of you before we take a break. So I'm very much laser focused in that if I say I'm going to do something to myself, like if I commit to doing something, I have to do it, because I said I was going to do it. And I've gotten a lot of feedback over the years that you're so stubborn, you're so set in your ways. And so the reason I bring it up is I made a commitment to do this 75 hard. And I don't have to do it, right? And honestly, I don't really want to do it anymore. I'm really sick of it, because I'm tired of running to the bathroom. I'm tired of it all night long. And so I've really been thinking back and forth, like, I just don't want to do it anymore. But I made the commitment, and I put it on social media, and I told the world. So my question for you is, how do you know when it's okay to break your promise to yourself or someone else, or when it's not, and it's just that negative mind just trying to trick you up? Well, I'll start with, go ahead.
I can answer that, because I've gone through something very similar myself last year, a few years ago, before all this craziness happened. And that was, I committed myself to be in a conference speaking, and it was not working. There was all sorts of things that weren't working, and I was being mentored by 2 different people, and they kept saying, well, look, it's not working. Why don't you back away? Why don't you just say, it's not working, and move away? And I said, no, I've committed. So I followed through on my commitments, and I was advised, no, you're not being allowed to commit, to follow your commitments. So you should back away. And I said no, and these were very, sort of high level mentors that I have. When I did go ahead and go all the way through it, it didn't work. And so when you do have that, it was kind of listening to other people, my intuition, and what felt good for me, because what was okay to start with might not be okay when you're going through it. It might be that you've learned what you need to learn, you've done what you need to do, and you don't need to go any further in the journey. And it's okay to say, I've completed and learnt what I need to learn in doing this, and this has been a great experience, but I've learned everything that I need to learn from this. And so now it's time to stop. That's actually a bigger deal to say, I have got everything I need without having to go all the way through it.
I love that. Yes, that's fantastic. Mariska, what would you like to add?
I think to Caroline's point is having your end that you have in mind very clearly set. If you know what it is that you want to get out of it, and you got it already, even in the first quarter of what you did, then you're done. You don't have to finish the whole thing just for the sake of finishing the whole thing. If you feel that you haven't gotten out what you set out to get out yet, then continue. So having that end in mind, I think, is really important, because just doing something for the sake of doing it, what value is it adding to what you're doing? So really being intentional about why it is that we decide to do something and what exactly it is that we're doing. What is it that we want to learn? What is it that we want to test? Is it that we want to know how strong our perseverance is? And then by all means, go nuts. But if that wasn't the outcome, if you wanted to be healthier and have a better exercise regime or intake of water, whatever, and you already got to that point, you're like, yeah, okay, I'm happy. It's all about what it is that we want to get out of the experience, really, and being clear for ourselves. This is what I want to get out of it. And when we add it, that's done. It's finished.
Bravo. I love what both of you said today. That's fantastic. I think the part that I get tripped up on, and it's just, it goes with what you're talking about, is the shame when you read the book. Like, not everyone's going to be able to do this. Are you strong enough? Are you tough enough? Do you have what it takes? Are you going to be telling yourself the same thing you've told yourself your whole life? And I think, well, I don't think I'm a loser. I think I've accomplished. You could accomplish more. I guess I could. Shut up. All right, fine.
It's actually, that's very masculine. That's a very masculine approach. And you can actually get to actually say you've got to go to the better end is an extraordinary focused masculine approach. And we're women, and we don't need to get to the bitter end. It's about, what did we learn from this? How did we grow from this? And it might take you quicker to get what you need from it, rather than having to go the whole distance.
Yes, because I'm already highly evolved. There it is. Highly evolved on the 100 show. I love it. I'm having so much fun. Thank you both. All right, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, Caroline's going to present. Caroline, do me a favor and check the private chat. And we will be back to hear your presentation and have some more fun, because I certainly am enjoying myself. I hope you are too. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, my name is Ralph Graves Jr. I'm the host of the Ralph Graves Jr. Show, and I want to invite you to pick up my book, Unstoppable. I wrote a book called Unstoppable. It's 7 universal laws that will transform how you pursue and achieve success. The one thing that my 20 years of law enforcement has taught me is that no matter who you are, we are all governed by universal laws, like gravity. But in this book, we're going to talk about laws like the law of forgiveness, laws like the law of control, the law of intelligent practice, the law of expectancy. I was able to see how those, no matter what their background was, those who identified and treated these laws with respect, they were able to go on and lead successful lives. So pick up this book, and you can go ahead and pick it up at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, RalphGravesJr.com, where anywhere where fine books are sold. Thank you.
There are 7.7 billion people on Earth today. 40% of these people are under the age of 25. Young adults are the most fertile mission field in the world today. In Scripture, we see Jesus pouring his life into 12 young adults who he equipped to change the world and all of history. Like Jesus, we believe that the best approach to reach the world with the gospel is to invest in young, emerging leaders and equip them to build disciple-making movements. Concentric is the notion of surrounding and sharing a common center. Our center is the model and strategy of Jesus for both leadership development and ministry formation. As a global alliance, we provide equipping in biblical leadership based on Jesus' example in the New Testament. Jesus modeled for us how to make disciples that reproduce. Focusing on leadership development is key to creating movements that spread the gospel and Jesus' disciple-making strategy to young leaders around the globe. Our Ministry Alliance partners are actively equipping leaders and building movements of multiplication that reproduce the life of Christ. Join us today to equip young leaders with Jesus' strategy that will change cities and nations.
The session that we had with BCAT was really entertaining and enlightening. We were able to put together some very specific steps that we as individuals can take, and it was really fun to all come together and see sort of where we're going as a team and how we can all get there together.
We had a tremendous experience with the BCAT partners. One of the challenges that we have as an organization is to make sure that we have the right people in the right chairs doing the right thing. To do that well, you have to have synergy. You can try to dream up ways to make sure that your group does that, or you can rely on experts. We would recommend BCAT partners to anybody who's looking to take their organization to the next level.
Academy Sedan and Limo is a full-service transportation company serving the Philadelphia metropolitan area with full knowledge of the New York City, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C. areas. We pride ourselves on being the most dependable, conscientious company in the industry. Our always on-time service and dependable pricing make us the company to call for any event or occasion. Our vehicles can accommodate any size party for any occasion. Our vehicles range from 4-door sedans to SUVs to minivans to limo buses to full-size tour buses and can accommodate groups of 2 to 100. We offer airport shuttle service or over-the-road service without limitation regarding mileage or time, and no drive is too long or too far. So if you find yourself in need of transportation of any type with any vehicle, give us a call at 610-842-4564 and let us show you what a real transportation company can do for you.
Use code ACADEMY2020 to receive 20% off your first 3 rides, including parking and tolls.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Hello and welcome back to USA Global TV and Business Talk Radio. I want to just mention, if you have YouTube, you can watch us on your television if you have a smart TV set. Ooh, that's how my mom and I like to watch the shows. It's a lot of fun when you see it this big. And you can say, oh, your makeup was running or your hair is a mess. Anyway, as I digress. You are watching A Better You, lessons from the best coaches, consultants, and trusted advisors. And today we have two top-notch experts. Mariska just finished presenting, and Caroline and I had some conversation with her about it, talked about my own personal issues with 75 Hard. And now Caroline is going to present. Are you ready?
I am, yes. I'm definitely raring to go.
We are psyched for you. Okay, here's your presentation. Would you like the 15-minute timer?
That would be really cool. Thank you.
All right, I'll get it for you. Have a great presentation. We'll be watching and writing notes backstage.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm really delighted to share with you an introduction to the 7 major chakras. I've been working with the major chakras for 21 years. 21 years is a long time, and lots of things have changed, and there was no internet or YouTube in the way that it is today, so I learnt the very hard way. What I bring to you is a depth and a wealth of expertise in the chakra system. So let's take a journey. Sorry, you're going to have to bear with me. I'm not sure how to move the slide.
Hi there. Sometimes this happens. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
Mariska, can you help her?
Caroline, if you look at your slide deck, so not the one that is on the Better You screen, the one that you have on your PC, right? Just click on that one, and then you can press your arrow, or just click on the side that the slide needs to move to. It should move.
Right. So going to the PowerPoint, I'm really sorry about this. My apologies.
Don't worry about it. It's training within training.
Ah, right. Yeah. Okay. So the 7 major chakras, here we go. The root chakra is at the base of the spine. It's where the base of the spine meets the genital area. Now that is pictured, it's recognized as red. And this is right where the base of the spine, the tail end of the spine meets the genital area. The second chakra up is the Sacral Chakra, and that's actually below the belly button, in the belly. This is also known as the sexual chakra, so the Sacral Chakra or sexual chakra, and this is below the belly button. The next chakra up is the Solar Plexus, and the Solar Plexus is in the middle of, above the belly button and in the middle belly, so in the rib cage area. The next one up is the Heart Chakra, and the heart is actually where the heart is based. And the next one up is the Throat Chakra, and that is in the throat area. And the next one up is the third eye, which is in the brow center, so in between the two eyebrows, and the crown is at the top of the head. That's the 7 major chakras, or the 7 physical chakras, and they're related in the physical body. There are many more, but we're going to look at today at the specificity of the 7 major physical chakras in the body. Now, the 7 major chakras are related to the endocrine system. So the endocrine system is where our major glands are. So the root chakra, which is at the base of the spine, where it meets the genital area, is the first chakra. And that's where the adrenal glands are stored. So, you know, when you say things like, oh, I'm working on my adrenals, that's the challenge that we have in terms of when we're depleted in the adrenaline gland. The next chakra up, the second chakra, the sacral chakra, is where the ovaries and testes are based. And that's where the sexual energy is. So that makes sense of what's related to the sacral chakra. The third chakra up is the solar plexus. And the solar plexus is the third chakra, and it's related to the pancreas. The next chakra up is the heart chakra, and the gland related to the heart chakra is the thymus gland. The throat chakra is our fifth chakra, and the thyroid gland is related to this chakra. So you might hear some people say things like, I have underactive thyroid gland, and that is related to the fact that they're not expressing their true feelings and emotions in the throat chakra. The next chakra up is the third eye, which is the sixth chakra, and it's in between the brow center and the gland associated with the pituitary, with the third eye is the pituitary gland. The crown chakra is our seventh chakra, right at the top of the head, and the pineal gland is related to the crown chakra. So let's look at the chakras and the senses. The five senses are related to 5 of the major chakras. So the root chakra is related to smell. Now the smell is related to our instinct and our survival. The second chakra, the next one up, the sacral chakra, is related to taste and our zest for life, our pleasure and our desire. Taste. The solar plexus is the next chakra up, which is above the belly button, and that's related to our sight. The heart chakra in the heart center is related to touch, feel, and that's feelings, not the I feel sad, I feel heartache, I feel loneliness. That's mind feel. Feel in terms of how does the sun feel on my face? How does the wind feel in my hair? How does the water feel on my back in the shower? So it's real feel and sensory touch. The throat chakra is the final one of our 5 senses related to the chakras, and that is hearing. What do I hear? Chakra affirmations. This is going through the colors as well as the affirmations. So the root chakra, which is at the base of the spine, is red, and it relates to I am. The second chakra up is the sacral chakra, and it's I feel. The color is orange. The third chakra up is related to the solar plexus. It's yellow, and it's I do. So it's a physical chakra, a doing chakra. The fourth chakra up is the heart, and it's I love. The next chakra up is the throat chakra, which is the 5th chakra. It's blue, and it's I speak. I speak my truth. The 6th chakra is indigo, purple, and the brow chakra, and it's I see. And it's in between the eyes, so that would help you remember. The last chakra I'm going to be talking about today is the crown, which is above the head, and it's I know. And that's because you're connected to the universe. You're connected to all modes of information coming in. So let's look at some chakra affirmations. The 7 major chakras have physical affirmations. So going from the bottom, the root chakra, I am loved and supported. That's because you have all your needs met. The next one up, the sacral chakra, which is where the sexual energy is residing, is I am creative and inspired. This is our creative zone. So it's where we move towards things that we desire to do, and we create from this chakra. This is where song resides. This is where art resides. This is the pleasure zone. This is our zest and our curiosity for life. The next chakra up is the solar plexus, and it's related to I am empowered. This is the solar plexus is related to our ego. It's related to our confidence, our self-esteem, our power. I am empowered. The fourth chakra, the heart, the affirmation there is I am at peace. When you are in the heart chakra and you are in a place of peace, joy, gratitude, fun, and it's the center of your will. I am at peace. The throat chakra is the next chakra up. And because it's the throat chakra, it's I am worthy of being heard. And when we have a blockage in the throat chakra, it is because we're not expressing how we truly feel and think. The next affirmation is for the brow chakra and between the eyes, and it is I am guided. And the final chakra affirmation of the 7 chakras is I am one with the universe. So you are connected to the universe. Chakra sounds and mantras. Each of the chakras have a sound. So at the base of the chakra, that's the root chakra, where the tail end of the spine meets the genital area, the sound is lam, lam, lam. The sexual chakra, the sacral chakra, is vam, vam, vam. The solar plexus above the belly button is ram, ram, ram. The heart chakra is the 4th chakra and in the heart center. And the sound for the heart chakra is yum, yum, yum. The throat chakra is pictured in the throat center, and the sound for the throat chakra is hum, hum, hum. The brow chakra, which is in between the eyebrows, is om, om, om. And this can be shared with the crown chakra or moving into a space of silence, because you're at one with the universe. So that's lam, vam, ram, yam, ham, om. And when you chant or sing these sounds, lam, vam, ram, ham, om, it starts to tune up. It tunes up every single area of our body. It literally moves the frequency of out of balance into balance so that you feel different, better, and easier in your life. I'm looking at connecting the mind and body And I'm Caroline Heward, the Harley Street Stress Expert. My contact details are on this slide, and I'll be very, very welcome. I'll be really happy and welcome any inquiries either by email or phone call, or you can contact me through my website.
Woo! Woo! Way to go. That was really fascinating. I've been practicing yoga for over 20 years. I'm certified in meditation, but I didn't know that about all the chakras. I hate to say.
There's a lot going on in the body that we're not aware of. I wasn't even sure whether you could hear me, so that's great that you could. And I didn't have the timer, so I had no idea if I was to time or not. I hope that was close to 15 minutes.
You were good. You still had 1:30 left, so that was great. I thought one thing that was really interesting was about the throat chakra, and that if your thyroid isn't working correctly, that you're not expressing yourself. I think that's probably true.
Yeah.
Really.
When I say that to people, because it's a big deal, when people take thyroxine, they say, oh, I've got thyroid problems, underactive. And it's a common thing to say, our symptom. Then when I would go in and say, that's because you're not expressing how you truly think and feel. And I always caveat that by saying, when it matters, because we're generally okay in our working situations about expressing what we think, because that's more practical and logical. But when we're in a place of our personal lives, our relationships, family, friendships, our intimacy, we tend to kind of hold back that a little bit more, because it's about expressing feelings and emotions. And you would be surprised how many people don't express how they truly think and feel. The clients I generally see, they're great in their occupation and their business, and it's their personal life that they don't express. And one of the things I teach is breathing practices to move them down into their feelings and emotions so that they are able to express much more easily. And it's as simple as that. I teach extremely simple practices to correct these things, but the first place is awareness.
Yes, definitely. Well said. Something I wanted to bring up when you were talking about the third eye. Today when we were in yoga, the teacher said, what color do you see? And I saw red, and then all of a sudden I saw blue. And she said, oh, I've only been seeing red, but now I see blue. And I thought, oh my gosh, I have the same thing, but I don't really know what that means with the red and blue.
Well, red is that you're seeing root chakra, and blue is throat chakra. The color of the chakra in between the eyes, the brow chakra, is indigo. It's a purple. And so, but it is possible to see other colors through the third eye. So there will be some things going on for you in the root chakra, which is about your foundations, work. And there are things about that going on for you. So that would make sense that you saw red. And it would make sense that you saw blue, because you're in a high level of communicating those changes that are happening in this moment that we're going through right now. It's really happening in your moment that you're living in. And so red and blue are very current for what's going on for you right now. And we do see the colors of the chakras of what's going on for us, because they're much more relevant and prevalent in your life right now.
Thank you. And I'm just wondering, at some point, will I see green? Will that be like the green flag? Like, yay!
Well, green is the heart, and that's all about being at peace, and actually being in a place of compassion, a place of peace. I see a lot of green. I see a lot of purple too. I used to see a lot. Sorry?
So the purple, what does that mean? What are the feelings or the...
The purple is your intuition. This is when you're seeing more things. So it's where you're picking up, not on physical things, but it's more about your intuition, what's coming in. That's coming in from outside. That's bringing you that comfort. So I started to see a lot of purple when my third eye opened many years ago when I first started training. And I kept saying, I keep seeing purple, what's going on? And my eyes were closed, but it was like a movie screen. And I was seeing like a lava lamp of purple blobs going up and down. And I thought, what the hell is going on? You know, I was a corporate girl. I was thinking, what's happening to me? And my trainer that I was with, he turned around to me and he kind of put his hand over my brow here. And he said, oh, your third eye's opened. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm a cyclops. And, you know, I thought, third eye, have I got three eyes? You know, and I just kind of flipped because I didn't understand. Because it was a whole new language, you know, back in 2001 when, you know, I was, 2001 when I was experiencing this change. And I immediately went to Google, which was very uncommon then. It wasn't a big thing in 2001. And I Googled third eye, purple, and it came up with this chakra body. And I thought, that's my purple. So it's kind of, and that's why I went through the colors, and it's good to see the pictures because children see the colors. And when children draw pictures, what they do is they might draw daddy or mummy's head in red. They, you know, color it in red. They might color the sky in green, and it's what they see. And then like the adults tell them off because they say, daddy's face isn't red, you know, or the sky isn't green. But that's what they're seeing. And so they're drawing and painting and coloring what they see. And so eventually when they get given that kind of feedback often enough, they say, well, maybe I'm wrong. And so then it switches out. But as children, as young children, children see the colors because that's how we're all born. So yeah, it's very, very, it's powerful when you kind of get it. And I used to see fluorescent colors on people, and I found it too distracting. So I just said, you know, I'll be going, oh, you've got a great bit of purple there, and and it was just too distracting. So I said, you know, I can't handle this. And my mentor said, well, then you just say that you don't want to see it. You switch it off. You just say this is too much. And so I did. 20 years ago, I switched to that, and I just said, I'm happy to feel, and I'm happy to know. So I became claircognizant and clairsentient. But I wasn't too keen to hear things, and I wasn't too keen to see things because I thought those things made you a little crazy. But then I realized I was a little crazy anyway because I was feeling and knowing things.
You've evolved. That was 2000, 2001. So you've done a lot of work and you've evolved. And I'm wondering, Mariska, what feedback do you have for Caroline?
As she was talking about children seeing the colors. So with me and my husband, when I just met his little ones, they used to refer to me as the lady with the blue hair.
Oh.
So they could just see my blue.
Aww, it's amazing.
Beautiful.
So that just reminded me of that. And this is, a lot of years back.
70 years ago. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, really, lifetimes.
You look remarkable.
And this is what we don't realize. We don't realize what that means. What that's meaning is that you're a high level communicator, that they see your strength in communicating your message. And that's the blue that they were seeing. And that makes sense in terms of what you do. It's beautiful.
Still need to work on it though.
We all do.
We all do. That is so true. Well, girls, I have to say that we are right at the top of the end of our show. It's been amazing to spend this 100th episode of A Better You with the two of you. I will always have this memory, and I really appreciate you showing up big and giving great presentations, giving me some insights and something to think about for 75 hard and this timer that keeps ticking away. So I thank you both And I look forward to having you back in future presentations. And anything you want to end the show with, Caroline, I'm going to spotlight you. Anything you want to say to our audience as we close out?
I want to share with you that we're always on a journey. We're always growing and we're always changing and learning. And so we're never wrong. It's always an experience and a lesson and a growth. So never feel that you've made a mistake. Look at the lesson and the growth that you've gained from that experience.
I love it. Excellent. Mariska, what would you like to leave our audience with today?
I think I will link into that. And while we are experiencing these things that's coming up, and some of them are fun and some of them are not so much fun, also be realizing that we are creating what we are experiencing. So choosing to stay in it or to move out of it is a choice, and it is part of what we create. So being conscious of what we focus on and where we want to focus is a really key thing for all of us. And interestingly enough, I actually did some reading the other day about self-awareness, and it stands to reason that there's not a lot of people that is as self-aware as we think. In the research, they found that we, on a good day, maybe have about a 20% self-awareness rate. So always good to think about those things a little bit more.
Brilliant. I love that. And something I'll share, when I went to yoga today, it's a hot yoga and it's power yoga and it's fast. You know, it's fast and you're doing cardio, and something that the instructor Steph said at the end really resonated with me. We were all there on our little mats, right? They're backed up one after one after one and sweating profusely. We have no makeup on. We have no pretense. We just have ourselves. And if we could only show up like that, how we are on the yoga mat, if we could show up like that every day in every way, I think that we'd have so much more community and kindness and love. And so if you don't practice yoga, I know it's not for everyone, and there's all kinds of yoga, by the way. I just ask you to look into it. Go to Mr. Google, Ms. Google, Mrs. Google, and just put in yoga and look at it. A couple of poses you can do right in your home. You don't need any money. You don't need any equipment. And I think when you start to get in touch maybe with those chakras, good things are going to happen for you. We've got a comment. Yes, Philip Chan in the house on the 100th broadcast. Philip! I want to let everybody know that Philip has been so wonderful in helping us with all of our shows. We have 18 to 20 shows a week, and the man works nonstop. And anytime I've reached out to him to say, hey, I've got an opening, do you have a guest? He always shows up with somebody who's unbelievable. And he's just a true gentleman and an amazing individual. So thank you, Philip. We salute you. Thank you, Philip. All right. With that being said, we are going to head out for the day. Ladies, I'll bid you adieu. I just have a few announcements about tomorrow. So I look forward to catching up with you again soon. Excellent job, both of you. This day goes down in history. And again, I'm glad I spent this time with you both.
And we are glad to spend it with you.
I can't believe it's my first and 100th. I mean, that is just purely magical.
You know, I always feel like these things happen for a reason. Just quickly, the show before this, somebody booked on it and then she had to reschedule. So I brought somebody else on, and it turns out Red O'Laughlin, who's on our team, he was talking about our health, you know, as human condition, taking care of ourselves, Alzheimer's, what to eat, what not to eat. And then the woman who came on the show, she's not on the team as of yet, but she talked about canine health. And between the two of them, they had so much in common. It was unbelievable. And it happens all the time. It's just, it's divine fate. I think it's just all these connections and collaborations. I just love it. So once again, thank you both. Stay safe. And I really appreciate both of you. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Sometimes I'm just so close to tears and I think I have all this eye makeup on. It wouldn't look good. Okay. So for tomorrow, I just want to tell you we have a full day. I'm going to go very quickly. Starting at 9 a.m. These are all in Eastern time zones. If you are British Summer Time, just add 5 hours. Okay, we have Life's Amazing Journey with my co-host John Christian, who will be serenading us, of course. And we're welcoming back Alyssa Finn, musical theater artist. She's amazing. She's been on another show of ours. This is the first on Life's Amazing Journey. Then 10 a.m., A Better You with the dynamic duo tag team of Daphne DeLucci and Stephen Gillen. I cannot wait for this presentation. Okay, at 11 a.m., right after that, we have Laser Girl Official, Steve Barry, and Chris Hampshire. So Chris and Steve work with Laser Girl. If you're not familiar with her work, go over to YouTube and put in Laser, Lazergirl. Okay, right after that, we have A Better You, Diane Floyd Bame and Jean Daly. That'll be number 102. And then after that, presenting Pet Psychic Amina, we've got Catherine Smith from Nottingham. And finally, Stories of Hope, Inspiration, and Overcoming Adversity. We have Anthony White joining us. Okay, I will leave you with this. We are all going through challenges. We are all going through change. How well are you able to listen to what people are saying to you? How well are people listening to what you're saying to them, what they're saying to you? Do you need any help? Do you feel that you're not getting through with your messaging? Are you really able to put the phone down, put the newspaper down, put the TV on off, and listen to what someone is trying to say to you? Because now more than ever, people are reaching out and they're asking for help. Will you be there to answer the call? I hope so. And just keep in mind that every time you help somebody, you're actually helping yourself. So it's a win-win for all of us. Thank you again for being here. Our sole goal is to bring people together to share their stories from across the world. If you'd like to be a guest on our show, you can email me at Jacalyn@drjacalyn.com. By the way, some of our shows are already booked out for the rest of the year. So if that's the case and you can't get on, email me and we'll see what we can do. All right. Thank you again. Thank you so much to Caroline. Thank you to Mariska. It's lovely seeing you. Philip, thank you. Alcini, the creator of A Better You. Thank you so much. Love to you all. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.